Hey everybody, welcome back to Oscar's O-Gauge Trains. Thanks for joining me today as I address some of the common mistakes people make when trying to build the perfect model railroad scenery. Or maybe you just want to bring your current scenery up to the next level. Either way, let's just jump right into it. Let's explore some of the most frequent mistakes in model railroading and how to avoid them to create a stunning layout. Stick around toward the end of the video to find out what I believe to be one of the best kept secrets to take your scenery to the next level with very little effort. Man, when it comes to creating model railroad scenery, there are several key issues that can instantly ruin the realism of your layout. One of the most common mistakes is lack of planning. Lack of reference material and attention to detail can be a major scenery killer. Make sure you have multiple examples to use. Reviewing your reference material with an artistic eye can help you identify that grass has large patterns of different colors, and lengths for that matter. It's the little things that can make or break your attempt at realism. So another common pitfall is using one layer of ground cover versus multi-layering and or multicolors. In this example here, you can kind of see that on the far left, man, I'm only using one layer of foam. I painted it and I got a little dirt there on top of the paint and just basic green ground cover. And even at this distance, you can barely see the color variation, but it just looks green and or like I would say probably some of the felt green material I see a lot of people use. And you know what? If you're happy with that, that's great. I support that all the way. But if you're really looking to take your scenery to the next level, this probably isn't the example that you want to follow. Now, in this next example, I'm multi-layered. You can kind of see the dirt here a little bit better. But again, we've got a flat piece of foam. I put dirt on it, and then there's multiple colors of ground cover, and then it's kind of mixed and matched in to maybe simulate some of the ground cover and grass and variation of color and length. And on the far right here, you can kind of see I used sculptor mode on top of the foam to simulate real ground. I mean, the earth isn't flat, so you get a little variation of depth there. Another layer of dirt. And on this one, I used static grass to kind of show the difference in how it would compare with the far left and the one in the middle here with different variations of color. This one on the far right is going to kind of best simulate real life, and it obviously shows that you put a little bit more effort into it, and it shows. Now, the one thing that I struggle with a lot is when to use the block on the far right here versus maybe something toward the middle. And the strategy that I found that works best is that anything maybe 36 to 48 inches from the viewer's eye, from the camera to the viewer's eye, you probably want to use something a little more detailed like this. Farther away from the camera that you get, you might want to use something in this variation. So a third mistake I see is landscape placement. Heck, even I still struggle with this one because one of the things that I'm kind of torn between is real life placement and the viewer's perspective. Seeing a small shrub like this behind a grouping of trees may be correct from real life standpoint, but you're going to struggle seeing that shrub if these trees right here, from the viewer's eye, from a camera's perspective, is front of is in front of a whole bunch of trees. I mean, you're really just going to struggle with that. Now, if you're able to have the viewers in a different perspective and they can see shrubs maybe up against a house or something, then you'll be successful at your goal. But those are some of the things you kind of want to think about when you do some placement of trees, shrubs, or any type of greenery. Lastly, flat landscaping and one-dimensional ground cover and colors, materials, and textures kind of has become a pet peeve of mine. I had to learn this the hard way because when I first got back into the hobby, this is exactly what I was doing. I put this down because I was so excited to get back into running trains. And as my attention to detail and want to do better as far as modeling real life kind of grew, I started heading in this direction. And I really did have to learn that lesson. Being excited and just wanting to jump into it made me want to do this. And I want to get you guys to kind of avoid that pitfall that I fell into. Take your time with it. Really plan how you want a scene to look, break it up into small consumable viewer chunks, and just take your time and get it right the first time. So I hope you found the suggestions helpful. Please like and subscribe and share this content. Now, the last thing I do to kick my scenery up to the next level is use flowering colors, either on grass, shrubs, or bushes. With very little effort in planning, it will take your scenery to the next level. So in conclusion, let's just recap the common mistakes we've discussed today. Lack of planning and lack of attention to detail. Multi-layering, flat landscaping, and dimensional coloring. Landscape placement errors, and the failure to create a cohesive theme. By avoiding these errors, it can take your model railroad scenery to the next level and create a truly breathtaking layout. I'd love to hear about your own experiences with scenery mistakes in the comments below. And as always, until next time, enjoy those layouts.